welcome to the Science Faction Podcast, where science meets fact meets fiction.
This is Science Faction for the week of December 23rd, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Benjamin Daniel Lawless, and with me today, my buddy.
Craft. Yeah, Devon Craft.
Yeah.
And only
Friend,
Devon Craft.
And only Devon Craft. My only buddy. Friendship ended with Stephen Dominguez. He's dead to me.
He got
too sick to be on.
Yeah, I don't like people who get sick.
Right. And well, okay, so you might not like me because I'm currently under the weather too. But I show up to the podcast, so I have my
half the battle is showing up or something.
Yeah, or something for sure. The other half of the battle is staying alive long enough to finish recording the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Devon, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's we're recording this the day before Christmas Eve. We have a Festivus. We have a trip. We're actually leaving on Christmas to go to Oregon for a week. We're coming back, I think, the day after New Year's or on New Year's. I don't remember. Probably the day after New Year's. And on the 2nd, it'll be Friday. So it's going to be a kind of a long trip over a week. We're going to Oregon. We're going to go skiing or snowboarding. I had mentioned before that there wasn't a lot of snow where we're going, and that's true for basically the whole country. There's a lot of places that have not gotten snow yet, and usually the skiing season has started well before now. But Mount Bachelor, where we're going, has in the last week gotten a lot of snow, and they're continuing to get snow. So actually today is their opening day, so they will be open.
Wow, good.
Yeah,
Christmas
so
is saved.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Jen and I were sort of hoping it wouldn't be open just because we're like, it's going to be a lot of stress having to deal with the kids and skiing for the first time and things, but it's definitely for the better. And that's the whole reason we're going. So it's better to actually what we're going for. But then we had to get
you want just enough that you can get there, but you don't want too much that, yeah.
So we had to get all our snow gear out for the first time in years and make sure it was all ready to go. And my snow pants barely fit me. It's not a tight squeeze through the legs, but the waist is pretty tight. But anyway,
yeah.
So yeah, we've got that coming up.
Okay.
So
I mean, that's obviously because it's shrinking. It's not because you're a growing boy.
My pants are shrinking by being in the hot attic.
They must be.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, no. There's no other possible way we can that this can be spun.
And so we did since we're leaving on Christmas, we're not leaving until the afternoon on Christmas, but we have to drive to Dallas, get a fly to Portland. So we're not really have a lot of time on Christmas to do Christmassy stuff. So we let the kids open a lot of their presents on Sunday. We kind of did a whole Christmas thing on Sunday, even had a Christmas meal. So the kids got most of their presents. We did save some for Christmas morning. So Nolan got the Switch 2, which he loves.
And that's the Nintendo Switch, not a stick to be beaten with.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that I'm giving that on. That's on Christmas. Save that. So he's loving that. It's got a Mario Maker, which he's been obsessed with, and now he can play it and he loves it.
Now I understand your joke. I apologize. It took me a moment. That was funny. Yeah, funny joke that you're giving to him on Christmas. And then you started talking about the gift you gave on Sunday. Okay, all right. Now I've caught up.
So and then we have Mario Kart World, and then the cousins brought over Super Smash Brothers. So the cousins and him and Elliot, he's 5, but he's been playing it. But we do have the time limit on it for 2 hours a day, and then of course he keeps coming and asking for more time. And we're like, well, you better be good, do your chores, blah blah blah, and then maybe later in the day he gets a little more time. So
yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for you because as we talked about, I think last week, there's having a Switch too means you also have access to all the games on the first Switch. So like it's not like you, as a new Switch 2 owner that did not have a Switch, like you're in a very enviable spot because everything to you is new, even if it's tremendously discounted because you have like the patient gamer discount of everything that like you're getting a complete version of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild if you want, like you don't have to wait for the DLC or any patches that fix things, and you're probably going to get it at the cheapest price imaginable because these are games that have been out for 15-30,000 years. So that's really cool.
And I've played Mario Maker a little bit myself to make a level, and it's really cool. I mean, it's everything you would want to be able to make Mario levels. So, I mean, this all started when Nolan was playing Mario World a lot and was drawing Mario levels out on paper, and then on YouTube seeing other people play like made up levels. And so I was like, I went online to be like, well, is there software I can download so he can make his own levels? And there is, but I was like, oh, there's a whole game made by Nintendo, and of course they obviously would know how to make it perfect and awesome. So that's been the goal, is to get that. So it is. I mean, it's really. I mean, it's not completely intuitive, but once you get how they're doing it, like they kind of do different things, like dragging, the power-ups into the boxes or giving up like the mushroom to an enemy to make it bigger. It's interesting they do that, but that's also a bit more fun to do it that way instead of just like clicking on a menu and being like, okay, choose this size. And so
now I don't like what I'm about to say may sound to you to be complete lunacy, but hear me out. You may want to go and try to find a refurbished like Wii U, because the first version of Mario Maker, the Mario Maker 1 that came out on the Wii U, the entire gimmick of that game is, or of that system is, you have a tablet, and so in Mario Maker you can create everything with a pen like you would like on an iPad.
Oh, okay.
So creating levels is far more intuitive on the first version of the game back on the Wii U.
Interesting. Yeah, that's strange.
So,
okay.
Yeah, and Wii U's, nobody wants them, right? They're like,
like I probably won't do that because that's a lot of work, and it's
a lot of work.
Just gonna leave it where it's at right now with him playing with the version we got. But that's interesting. It's good to know.
Yeah. Or I mean, if you if you're into the emulation scene, there's also the potential for using a mouse to do the same thing.
I put in some effort to emulate the Wii U with Mario Maker 1, I think. Because I had what was it, a year ago or so, I was trying to do an emulator type stuff, which it worked. I got like Super Mario All-Stars to work so that Nolan could play like Mario 1 and 2 and 3, because he had only played Super Mario World up to that point. And I did try to make the Wii U emulator work with, and I mean, I'm sure I could have put in a lot more effort and maybe even gotten it to work, but I put in like a couple hours and I was nowhere near getting it to work. And I'm like, nope, not worth it.
I hear you. Well, hey, if you guys ever find, if the kids ever find their way to California, let me know beforehand, and I'll spend the time to try to get to dust off my old Wii U and my copy of it, because I do own the first Mario Maker on Wii U, and it was a good time. In terms of playing the levels, I think that the Switch version is better, but in terms of making the levels, I'd say it's far more intuitive.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, we did a common holiday thing around like my family growing up was, it's the holidays coming up, let's go see a movie. So I saw the new Avatar Fire and Ash in an honest to goodness movie theater. I had asked Steven if he wanted to come, and he had just started feeling started being ill, and he's like, I can't do anything except for lay in bed. So yeah. Now, Devon,
Okay, yeah. When
like,
you
what do you
mentioned
know about
that,
Avatar 3, Fire and Ash?
yeah. Well, when you had mentioned it before for the podcast, I had even said I was like, "Oh, is that like the new?" Because I know there's two Avatar
Yeah.
franchises, and I'm not a fan of either. Not that I don't like
Oh,
them, but
that's
just that I'm not really familiar with either of them, other than what I've gleaned. I did see the first Avatar movie, like the James Cameron one. I've never seen
yeah.
the other Avatar TV show, cartoons, or movie. But for some reason, when you said Avatar Fire and Ash, I instantly assumed it was not the James Cameron one because I guess I assumed I would have heard about a new Avatar movie. I know the second one came out a couple of years ago, and that was after a very long period of no Avatar movie since the first one. So for some reason, when you said Avatar, I was like, oh, it's the anime Avatar
Yeah.
franchise.
Which
Um,
they have not done anybody any good service in terms of trying to differentiate themselves between the two, because so Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated
okay.
incredible series, which I highly recommend to anybody. Your kids are gonna love it, 100%. Well, the third season of Avatar: The Last Airbender is called Book 3 Fire. So it's kind of like, so then the third Avatar film is Avatar Fire and Ash.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can understand how you may not understand the differences there. It's, yeah, well, I would say that the animated ones are better, but, uh, when you, okay, so like, saw the first Avatar film, the James Cameron Avatar film, they were,
Uh-huh.
it was fine. It was okay. And then when the second one came out, which was, oh gosh, what was that called? I'm sure somebody will know. Somebody's screaming at the
Waterworld?
podcast right now.
Waterworld?
Yeah, Avatar Waterworld.
Fire and Water?
The Way of Water. The Way of
Oh,
Water.
okay. Yeah, I didn't see that.
So
I saw the first
The Way
Avatar
of Water
movie and
came out.
hmm
Yeah, The Way of Water came out back in December 2022, and
Oh man.
the idea is that, well, what's kind of funny is that the second, third, and fourth movies of the Avatar franchise were filmed back in, oh gosh, uh, like 20, like late aughts, early 2010s.
hmm
Um,
Which ones?
and
All of them?
yeah, all of Avatar 2, 3, and 4 had
Okay,
been
we're filmed
filmed
together
together
back then. Okay.
back then. Yeah. And so the amount of time it's taken, from like 2017 on has all been like, for the last, gosh, for 5 years they worked on the first of the trilogy of The Way of Water, and it was beautiful, but like when it came out, I didn't realize how big of a deal the Avatar films were, that like everybody was going to go see it, and people love the Avatar franchise, and like James Cameron's got a new movie, it's really pretty, like go see it in the theater, it's and sure enough, yeah, they did enough in the second film to make me go, you know what, I could see the next one in the theater, that would be great. And sure enough, I did. It was 3 hours and 10 minutes long, uh and I wouldn't say it's anything necessarily uh surprising,
hmm
but it felt like a great continuation. With a runtime of 3 hours and 10 minutes, it still moves very fast, and in fact, it starts the film as with no preamble about, oh, here's what the last film was about. No, it just jumps in immediately expecting that you know where all the characters are and what they're doing.
Yeah. And that makes sense. I figure if you're going to watch that third one, you should know what's going on already.
Yeah.
That's what Marvel does, basically.
Right. Yeah. The first cut of Avatar: Fire and Ash had a running time of 9 hours.
Oh, what?
But no, it looks like that was the 9 hours of material referred to Avatar: Fire and Ash, Avatar 4 and Avatar 5, since they're all 3-hour films. They're a total of 9 hours. And so
okay.
Yeah.
So is he telling a story that requires this much story? Like,
I think so. Yeah. I mean, like watching it, I was really going like, what parts of this could be cut in order to make it a shorter film? And the answer is, I couldn't really see them cutting anything. It was 3 hours of important stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. It was very pretty. The storyline definitely at this part, three films in, has gone beyond the Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
That the first one was.
Is that character still in
very
it?
much? Yes. Yeah, actually, and despite a lot of characters dying, the actors are still finding ways to reprise roles in the film, due to cloning, due to maybe they died, but their consciousness lives on in a like in the
a tree,
in these manufactured bodies. Like,
okay,
yeah,
I mean that's the whole point of Avatar. Yeah,
right. So a main antagonist is still is still played by the actor who played the main antagonist of the first film, that corporal. He's still a main antagonist, but his character is nuanced.
He didn't die in the first one? I feel like something happened to him in the first one.
Oh yeah, I think he did. Yeah, I think he died. Yeah, but no, his character in the form of a giant 9-foot tall blue creature now, because his he's now just that.
Is there any redemption arc? Is he like changing his mind, or is he still just pure evil?
There are so his character arc is largely defined by his relationship to his son, who was a character introduced in the second film, who has grown. Basically, he the corporal's wife or girlfriend or partner had perished in the fight at the end of the first film. And so in the second film, like, there's a bit of a vendetta there. And the son ends up going and living with Sully and the rest of the people fighting back, the rest of the Na'vi fighting back against the manifest destiny of the humans. So a large part of this film, their encounters are colored by, like, well, the corporal wants to catch Jake Sully, but also wants to save his son from any danger. So there's a lot of shifting allegiances there. And then he's also operating off script, because he's making inroads with a particular Na'vi tribe that is very much like about violence and world domination. So he's able to. Yeah, it turns out that there's more than one Na'vi tribe.
Okay, cool. It sounds like. Sorry, this is an audio thing.
Sure.
Maybe it's just coming through this way, but it sounds like there's something rattling whenever you talk, almost as if like you had like a necklace,
as if there's
or
a rat
bracelet.
Cage?
Oh, is that what that is?
As if there's a rat cage and they're chomping on the bars because they want to be set free.
Okay, that must be what it is.
Yeah, it is kind of like that.
That's funny.
That is exactly what that is.
Because normally I don't wear headphones when we record, so maybe it's always been there and I've just never noticed it until now.
I'm gonna turn on my noise suppression. Hopefully that'll help a bit. So yeah, you let me know if you hear it again, and then I'll just throw my hands up in the air and say, well, this is what it is. But thanks, Devin. Anyhow, I would say if you are invested in Avatar, there's no reason not to see his film. It is as good as The Way of Water, and which I think The Way of Water was better than the first film. So, like, yeah, it's all right, you know. Like it's a fine, refined film, and I don't begrudge anybody who would want to see it. But also, if you've gotten this far in life and not been you know, like into Pandora, you're fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, you know, but yeah, it is a cinematic spectacle.
It's just weird,
Almost to the
like,
point where,
yeah,
yeah,
it's just
almost like too much. But you
Avatar
know,
has this weird place in culture where it's like it's people like it enough to where it actually people do see it and it makes money, but it doesn't seem like anybody, at least not that I know, like are huge fans of it. Like you might be like, yeah, okay, yeah, the first one was good. I'll see the next one. Oh, yeah, it was good. Yeah, I'll see the next one. But no, I don't know anybody who's like obsessed with it or like, like how Star Wars and Star Trek and the MCU and there's like how many other franchises of this
yeah,
level, they have more to them than just the movies. Like I feel like Avatar, no one is asking for any of that extra stuff, and they're not giving it to us because no
yeah.
one's asking for it. But yet it's still at
I
least
mean,
popular enough to make them. I don't know. It just seems
they've been
it's like a
expanding.
manufactured. If they want it to be more
Yeah,
popular than it is, I don't know. It's strange.
right. And they've been expanding it. Like there was an Avatar video game on like
Oh, there
PlayStation
was.
5 and PCs that came out recently that was pretty technically interesting. I haven't played it. Maybe I should get it, you know. But and then I think that there's a bunch, like Universal Studios might have some rides,
Mm-hmm.
you know, throughout all of its different. So yeah, like it's a big deal, but I also don't feel like it's one of those things where it's met with anticipation. You see a new
Mm-hmm.
Avatar trailer and you're like, "Oh, they're still making those. Well, that'll be
Mm-hmm.
interesting." And then sure enough it was like, I found out, "Oh, hey, there's a new one." And I also found out that there was a teaser for Avengers Doomsday attached to it.
Oh,
Uh,
how was that?
and I brought up to, you know, it was a teaser. It I wouldn't say go and see this. It was surprising, the things that were kind of revealed in it. It was not what I
Mm-hmm.
expected to see in the but it wasn't like it it gave like an idea of what the backstory for Avengers Doomsday is going to be, not what we're going to see in Avengers Doomsday, if that makes any
Mm-hmm.
sense. And when
All
I
right.
found out about this, I immediately went to YouTube to look up, what it is, and I was met by a bunch of AI slop,
Mm.
stuff that where it seemed like people had heard what went on in it, and they used AI to create, uh, to
There.
recreate their version of it,
Mm-hmm.
but it was not what I saw. And in fact, I could easily tell, oh, this is AI slop.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that I would say, like, don't look for it until you hear that, yeah, this is the official one from Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
Like, keep an eye out for what they release. Don't spoil yourself on like a lackluster one, because like I had seen one that was pretty close to what I saw, but they added in a bunch of stuff that didn't make sense and was terrible.
Mm.
Yeah, anyhow, like I could ruin it for you, but I'm
I don't care. I'm fine with you ruining it for me. I guess it's just the listeners if they care, but I don't think I'm going to see it until it's on Disney Plus, and even then, probably not. So you can ruin it for me.
Oh wow!
I mean, I haven't seen Fantastic Four. I haven't seen Thunderbolts. I did actually intend to watch both of those because I heard they got okay reviews. But it's just whenever we're looking for something to watch, it was never even crossed my mind. Like we watched a couple new movies recently, which were pretty good. So good I can't remember them. But did we watch? Anyway, the point being that I don't intend to watch Marvel movies unless someone happens to force me to watch them.
You're in an interesting position where if you're going to watch a Marvel movie, which is ostensibly for kids, but you've got all the Marvel movies that are coming out that are PG-13, you like, why would you spend the time to watch something that is for kids yet is for an age of kids that you don't have in your household?
Yeah.
You know?
When my kids are old enough, I'm probably going to end up watching like every Marvel movie with them, so I'm sure I'll get caught up eventually.
For sure. So, but like now, I've got a 12-year-old. He, it's not PG-13, but like he's fine, I'm not going to watch Deadpool with him yet. But like the other Marvel films for the most part, so that becomes a family thing at that age. So that's helped me to kind of keep up with the films. I think I'm pretty behind on the shows personally, but
I just remember we watched the new Wes Anderson movie and we watched the new Knives Out movie. Those are the two movies we watched recently. Both of which were good, so if you're a fan of those particular things, then you'll like those new additions to those things. Wes Anderson movies are Wes Anderson movies, so if you're familiar with his work, you will get more of that. More and awesome. I feel like with every movie he pushes it even a little bit more into his crazy direction, which is fine. That's what you're watching it for, but kind of. So it was good. Also had a really weird name. I can't even remember the name of it. It's like the something project or initiative but yeah, it was good.
Okay. Yeah, I've got to finish watching, what was it, Moon Crater or
Asteroid City? Asteroid City. Yeah, that was good too.
Yeah, Asteroid City. I got to see that. I've got to finish watching it. But like Flint loved The Incredible Mr. Fox. And then also
I haven't seen that. I've seen Isle of Dogs. I actually haven't seen Incredible Mr. Fox. I need to watch that.
I would say that Incredible Mr. Fox is more kid-friendly.
Okay.
But they're both like, if you think your kids could handle Isle of Dogs, then that's awesome. Go for it, because that's they're both incredible cinematic masterpieces, So cool. Yeah, man. Well, shall we get to dear listeners, if you haven't noticed by now, we're just going off script like crazy today. There's not going to be a lot, but we do have a future now topic. We're not going to be reading the book club this week. We're going to save that for next time. But Devon, shall we chat about anything before future or now, or should we go into it?
No, I think we're good.
All right. So future or now, and I think I brought something. I'm going to file this under now. And I think this is an interesting article that I found from Hacker News. It's an article, just an opinion piece by Michael Ashcroft called "The Appropriate Amount of Effort is Zero." Cool. And so this is way basically an idea. Yeah, Devon. I think that vis-a-vis you and this podcast. But no, I think that this idea here is that gripping too tightly, as you might with your hands, is a great way to destroy something that you're working on. Like if you were touching and holding things with 40% more tension than is required for that object or activity, you could theoretically break something. But that is how we do almost everything, is that we apply additional effort in a lot of different ways where it's not necessary. Now, it's kind of an important thing to note here is that Michael Ashcroft, the author of this article, has a different definition for for effort. He says it's the felt experience of expending energy beyond what an activity requires, like tensing your brow when you try to understand something, or the excess tension in your hand when you hold your phone. So the appropriate amount of effort by this definition for any activity is 0. Like do what it takes to get the thing done, but nothing more, because that would be effort.
Now, I agree.
Yeah, well, this fits into Taoist wisdom. As Lao Tzu said, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Now, like there's also an interesting quote here from Katie Ledecky, who with 14 Olympic medals is described as the most decorated female swimmer in history. She said, "I felt so relaxed. It just felt very easy, and that's why it surprised me that I had broken my world record."
Nice.
Ryan Hall, who's a marathoner, he said, "You don't get your best performances by trying harder. When you see the guy who wins the race, he usually jogs out of it waving to the crowd, feeling good. The people who look the worst come in after the top guy." So this is not necessarily like based on scientific fact. This is perhaps what I would consider an invitation to experiment with your own amount of effort you're putting into things.
I have a couple things. First off, since Steven's not here, I'll say this for him. The more you tighten your grip, the more star systems will slip through your fingers.
Thanks for that, Steven. Incredible.
And so lately I've been playing a lot more guitar. I've always wanted to play more guitar. They've been around me. I have guitars. I like fiddle with them now and then, which is hardly any time. And anyway, I was like, because I've gone through periods where I've played piano like an hour a day to try to learn piano and stuff. I'm like, why don't I do that with guitar? It's my favorite instrument. I think it's just because I feel like if I'm not going to dedicate myself to it and get better, or even get back to where I used to be able to play, like it's not worth it. So I finally said, like, look, it's the easiest thing to do. I would go to the gym during lunch, which I should still do, but I don't. I have time during the day to just pick up a guitar and play. So I've decided, look, I'm going to try to play guitar an hour a day, whether that's half an hour before work and then half an hour at lunch or whatever. So I've been working at it a lot harder. And part of that is like doing exercises and playing to a metronome to really like improve. So, it's funny you say like, trying too hard, because when you're trying to do something, you tense up, and it's like, no, you got to take a second and relax. You're going to play a lot better if you're relaxed. Even if you're playing fast and playing something difficult, playing it in a relaxed way, you can play it just as fast and cleaner if you're relaxed. And also I've noticed if I'm like, okay, here's an exercise where it's meant to improve your speed, and you play the same exercise through, and then you increase the metronome by 30 beats per second, and you keep going. And I've noticed when I get to a certain point, I'm like squinching my face. I'm like not that that's like necessarily going into my playing, but it's like I'm so tense about, okay, I have to play really fast and really just like dive into it, that my face is like doing this. I'm like, why is your face squinched up? Like that's nothing to do with playing guitar. Like relax your face. So like that kind of thing, like relaxing and letting it kind of flow, and that will improve more, and you'll play better. Like like anything, like you were talking about the people breaking their world records. It's like, yeah, you weren't thinking about it, but you were doing your best because you were relaxed in a way. I mean, obviously not too relaxed, but putting in the right amount of effort and not overdoing it.
Yeah, yeah. Right on. So yeah, now mind you, when I came across this, I had a great deal of uh, I was looking at some of the comments uh, on Hacker News, and they were lambasting this, and I think that a large part of it is because, well, you know, they maybe had uh, a different version of effort in their head, a definition of it than really was brought up. So yeah, if you have strong feelings about this, I completely understand. Perhaps you should, instead of using the term effort, maybe consider, uh, maybe you're hung up on the definition, just substitute for something like over efforting or trying too hard, because what we're talking about here is a phenomenon, not necessarily what you call it, you know. So yeah, drop your effort a little bit, see how weird it feels, but notice how activity is still getting done, you know. See what it's like to drop the energy too low, where you might become lethargic or your performance might drop. Notice your sweet spot might be a surprising experience of ease and a kind of elegance. The less you grip, the smoother and more precise the movement.
Well, I had an issue with a client recently on a case where it's not a case I handled. Normally, I was just handling it for this one hearing. And this client is just like very aggressive and petulant and all these bad things. But and something happened in the case that was not to their liking, and they just like flew off the handle and screamed at me and hung up the phone on me and stuff. And nothing, I had no control over what happened. I actually didn't feel bad about it at all. I was just like, I didn't do anything. But I was just like, that kind of person. There are people like that, and we probably all kind of know someone like that. I'm like, I don't need to get any kind of revenge on this person or whatever you'd call it, because their life, and this sounds like a cliche, but their life is its own revenge. Like if they act this way to think all the things in their life, like then they're only putting themselves through this hell all the time. It's like if you just relaxed about this and realize it's not a big deal, like you would be happier. Like why are you letting this dumb thing do this to you? So it's tangential, but that whole like putting effort into things, it's like also know how important the thing is you're doing. If it's not that important, you don't have to waste the effort. Right.
Yeah. And I think that that's, like we are, I think that we found ourselves like early on, and I found myself early on in my life, like I felt very great about all of the stuff I was doing and doing everything I could. And somebody asked me to do something, I'll do it. No worries. Somebody asked me to be on this podcast, let's go. And but being like a good portion of it has to do with like to do things well, you're gonna have to say no to something. You can't say yes to everything. And sometimes the appropriate amount of effort is based on having enough fuel in the tank in order to get you know to get where you need to go. So yeah, but I think it's also interesting because like going into Eastern philosophy, right? Like the Buddhist and Tao like approach of like what is it that that looks good? What is happiness? The Buddhist idea here is that the happiness is the absence of suffering. And so, what is suffering? And in many cases, suffering is attachment to the way you think things should be.
Yeah, makes sense.
As opposed to acceptance of the things that they are, the way that they are. I'm not saying that you should just roll over and do nothing when injustice is happening, but more just that idea of like, what really is the problem here,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, with that, so I don't think we're going to really have a break this episode, Devon. Do you feel like we need one?
I think that was good. I think we're
all right.
Covered everything.
Next week, we're going to read The Janitor in Space by Amber Sparks. We were going to do it this week. I've read it. It's an interesting one.
I read it.
But cool. Yeah. So we could talk about it now.
We could.
But nanner, that would be too much effort to record this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, but with that, Devon, do you have any last words for us?
I really don't. I know you said I had to do that. Don't have any dad jokes lined up, and I don't have anything wise to say. Sometimes the wisest thing to say is nothing.
Good night, everybody.
This has been the Science Faction Podcast. Tweet to the host at SciFactPodcast. Email them at sciencefactionpodcast@gmail.com and visit sciencefactionpodcast.com for more episodes.